All right, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who rules well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Ainal. The title of this video is These Devils Are Desperate, right? And the devil's going into Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, right? Because why? The scriptures say that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. And we're in those times. We're in the time of the end, right? Esau, Edom, pursuant to Revelation 12 and 12, is coming down with great wrath because he knows that he has but a short time. And he also knows that his enemies are, forming alliances and preparing against them. And we know this because we can see what's happening around in the world. We know that they're getting ready for war, right? The sides, obviously, you have America and Israel, right, and whoever allies they think they might have, knowing that their enemy is what Israel would say is Iran. Iran is joined with China and Russia, right? So they're going to war. They're fighting over resources, and land, all right, because that's how the Most High set it up here in these last days. Esau Edom is not satisfied; he wants more. So let's I'll grab that. I'll start it off so you can kind of know what's happening. And basically, this is Greenland. As you can see in this title, it says, won't tolerate Pentagon fires U.S. base chief in Greenland over criticism of J.D. Vance visit. And so they're totally against each other, right? They're a U.S. base chief is fired because this, which you'll see, she's a woman, which is always been the woman basically. The women are not no longer trusting in Esau Edom, right? Because you can go on and on. Basically, the so-called white man is destroying America, right? He's destroying people's livelihoods, right? And the people that feel it the most and the most emotional is the weaker vessel, which are the women, right? So they're speaking out a lot because they're hurting a lot. Anyway, this Habakkuk 2, and I'll just start from verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, right? So the prophets, the men of the Lord are watching, right? And we're giving a warning to the Israelites only, right? This is only about the Israelites. The warning is that Esau, Edom is coming out with great wrath because we're at the end, right? And that pursues to the scriptures, which is World War III and Jacob trouble. This is something to prepare your mind for, right? Because we're in that time. It's just like the elder brother, I'm on Gabar right here, GMS Awakening 144. I looked at his title. He's live right now. Lord willing, I'll check it out. Whenever I can, go watch it. But anyway, it says this is very likely to happen. After all, we are in those times. That's what the title says. All right. So anyway, back to verse 1, Habakkuk 2, verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon a tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. So basically, the men of the Lord, the prophets, they wrote these scriptures in times past, right? And now we're here in this time, in the reincarnation, the men of the Lord are back, the prophets are back, right? And what are we doing? We're going back into these scriptures and we're running, right? We're spreading the message. We have woken back to the truth. We have the correct message, the 100% truth. And that's starting with the men of GMS, Elder Apostle Har on down, right? All these other camps, false prophets. I would say, go to GMS, Great Millstone. That's where you need to get the truth from. I wouldn't recommend nobody else, right? I know, so that's that. Anyway, so verse 3 says, for the vision is yet for the appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And that's it. We're in those times, right? All Esau is doing right now is trying like hell to get a foothold on the war that's about to take place. He's trying to get in strategic positions to prepare for what's to come. That's all. They're moving like hell. They're trying to, establish some type of order. They're trying to, reset things up. They're trying to put people in positions with the same mindset as them because they're totally divided against themselves. That's going back to like what the American dream, so anyway, they're against each other because they don't know how to move on. The scriptures say they would be, and this video is going to show you that. They're firing U.S.-based chiefs because why? Obviously, the chief does not agree with what America is doing now. And that's the same for a lot of these different people that are now getting fired. That's why Job 20 says what it says. It says that every hand of the wicked shall come upon these devils, which is the laborers, the working class. This U.S. based chief, she's gonna be upset. She's fired. Who knows? What she might join the good old boys. Who knows? All right, verse 3 says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, that the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." Right? So I'll continue. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith." Right? So, we in these last days are keeping faith and hope, right? And the protection of the Lord, because Esau Edom is going to come down with great wrath upon us, upon the people, upon everybody. All right. Verse 5 says, "Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Now that keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied." And that goes into a whole lot, right? The scriptures say that except those days be shortened, no flesh shall be saved, right? Why is that? Because Esau Edom, the so-called white man, this devil, obviously won't spare anybody. He even has or had these Georgia Guidestones set up that he wanted population to a certain amount, because basically it's easily controllable, right? And that's why they're issuing out this MOTB system, the digital system, right, where they can track everyone easily and control them easily. They want a system where, everything you do, you need like a computer or Wi-Fi or something, and they can, turn it off or on if they want to, right? They don't want you to have no control, just like your dude Cotton Swab of WEF says you will own nothing and be happy, because you don't have a choice to be happy or mad, because if you look too happy, according to the facial recognition or whatever, they might come after you, just make you disappear. All right. So verse 5 says, "Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man." See, he's very proud because the Most High has put him in this position, right? He think it is of himself, right? But it's not. It says, "Not to keep it at home." So Esau Edom does not keep at home. He's all over the world with his bases all over places. I was actually shocked, but not too much, that it was even a base in Greenland. But I mean, I guess Greenland is like NATO or something. So it says, "Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. But gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." And this devil right here, JD Vance, is he went to Greenland, so that's why I said these devils are desperate, and he's gonna explain it. They went to Greenland, and he started saying the people are upset. That's what they do. They turn the people against, whoever's in charge, the president, prime minister, whatever the case may be. That's why you have uproars of the people, because this devil, right? He didn't come to do anything good. What the scriptures say in John 10, let me grab that. John 10 and 10. It says, I'll grab the NLT. It says, "The thief's purpose is to steal and kill and destroy." That's the point. And it continues to say, "My purpose is to give them a rich and satisfying life." So there's hope in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? But in Esau Edom, there's no hope. He has come to steal and kill and destroy. So he's over there in Greenland now, spewing his madness, trying to rub off some of that left hand magic on him. That the scriptures say in Revelations 20 that when this devil was loose from the prison sentence that he was sentenced to during the Byzantine Empire, once he got loose from that, he would go out and deceive the nations. This is Revelations 20 and 7. It says, "And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand and the sea." Right? And that's why I can title this video, "These Devils Are Desperate," because through the scriptures, we know exactly what's going on. We know exactly what's happening. We know that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, we know that he's going to war with Gog and Magog, which is Russia, right? And that's why he's over there in Greenland trying to make that a strategic position, right? But meanwhile, they trying to take Taiwan and don't think nobody know what they're doing, right? From Moab. China is Moab, all right? They're trying to take Taiwan and make that a strategic position right next to China. But Russia and China can't come over to Greenland and make that a strategic position, whatever. So Habakkuk 2. Let me grab verse 3 again. It says, "For a division is yet for appointed time that the end shall speak." I don't know if I read that. So yeah, verse 3 says, "For the vision is yet for appointed time that the end shall speak." And that's exactly what it's doing. And it says, "And not lie," right? Because why? The Lord's words don't come back to him void, right? They perform what he sent them to do, right? And he has uh sent the words forth through the Bible that Esau will be destroyed. And he won't have no help, right? His people, pursuant to Obadiah 1:7, is gonna turn against him. And that's what's happening. That's why these devils are desperate. They trying to get Greenland. I doubt that it happened. I doubt it happened. Obadiah 1:7 NLT. It says all your allies will turn against you. So, they got bases over there in Greenland, but Greenland is saying, look, you can't have Greenland. And we about to, anyway, Obadiah 1:7, it says all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. So, J.D. Vance, the second assistant president, is over there talking shit to Greenland, and a U.S. chief is saying, that's not how we feel, basically, And so now you're doing all that stuff to Greenland. Hey, first Obadiah 1:7 says your allies are going to turn against you, and maybe you got something to do with that, Mr. Second Assistant President, because they're not liking you and the things that you're saying to them, and that's what they're saying. It's not my words, right? They're not happy with that. So anyway, that's why verse 1 of Habakkuk 2 says, "I will stand upon my watch and set." I'll get it in NLT. Habakkuk 2:1, it says, "I will climb up to my watchtower and stand at my guard post. There I will wait to see what the Lord says and how he will answer my complaint." Right. So all we're doing is watching, observing. We the prophets of the Lord. We giving out the message. So verse 5 says, "Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." Verse 6 says, "Shall not all these take a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that layeth himself with thick clay." It says, shall they not rise up suddenly? That thick clay is that debt. All right. And that's why they're moving and pushing hard in this warp speed agenda they got going on to go for this central bank digital currencies to basically crash the economy. You got Trump throwing off all type of tariffs, and the people are feeling it. I'm talking about the people of America, right? Because these tariffs do shit all to China, right? If anything, they don't do much, but inflation, eggs is high as hell. All right, you got this lady Levette talking about, which is the secretary, the lady, that's always talking about she trying to reduce egg prices, So that's that thick clay that it goes into the debts, the money. And these people are saying, how long can you continue to do this, right? Because we're at the end. Pursuant to prophecy, because Greenland was one of them. But we're in that time where it's no longer going to be one of them. Let me grab this. Let me see what it's at. I think 17. All right. So this is Revelation 17. I'll start at 10. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast," right? So these 10 horns goes into the vassal states, the EU and NATO of America, right? This is that beast system. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore." See, so these vassal states will begin to hate the whore in these last days. The whore is Babylon the Great, right? And we can see why, because Trump is putting hell on these people. He's also trying to take their lands from them, right? He's saying he will own Canada. He wants Mexico. He already changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. He wants Greenland. He wants to name it Red, White, and Blue Land. He wants Taiwan, obviously, It says, verse 16, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast." So it's not of Esau, right? Esau had nothing to do with what the power that he has now, right? It was the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that gave him the power, right? And the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to take it away in the end, right? With the destruction. So verse 17, Revelation 17 and 17 says, for Yahweh have put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. See? So unto the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And they have been fulfilled. And now we're seeing what? The other side of prophecy, where they will start to hate the whore and disagree with the whore and be against the whore. It says in verse 18, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. We can all say, if you are of sound mind and have any type of sense, that America is that person that's ruling over the world right now. All right. So let's get a little bit of this.
Our message to Denmark is very simple. You have not done a good job by the people of Greenland. You have underinvested in the people of Greenland, and you have underinvested in the security architecture of this incredible, beautiful landmass filled with incredible people. That has to change. And because it hasn't changed, this is why President Trump's policy in Greenland is what it is. And what we think is going to happen is that the Greenlanders are going to choose through self-determination to become independent of Denmark, and then we're going to have conversations with the people of Greenland from there. So I think that talking about anything too far in the future is way too premature. We do not think that military force is ever going to be necessary. We think this makes sense. And because we think the people of Greenland are rational and good, we think we're going to be able to cut a deal, Donald Trump style, to ensure the security of this territory, but also the United States of America.
The head of the U.S. military base in Greenland has been fired for criticizing Washington's agenda for the Arctic island after U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance visited 2 weeks ago. Colonel Susanna Myers was removed from Patuxent Space Base after reportedly distancing from Vance's criticism of Denmark.
All right, so they're completely divided. But, okay, so let me grab this. I want to grab two things. This is Matthew 12 and 25 in the NLT. It says, Yahweh Shah knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed, and a town or a family splintered by feuding will fall apart. See, this is Esau against Esau, right? That lady that you seen is what so-called white lady, right? That's Esau's woman right there, right? And she's against these devils, all right? It says, verse 26, and if Satan is casting out Satan, he is divided and fighting against himself. His own kingdom will not survive, right? And that's the point. They're against each other. They don't agree with each other. You know, and what I wanted to bring out next was the fact that you fired this one person, but that was her mindset, and she was over all those people over there, you know? So obviously she was leading the people. So what type of, who are you going to put in there next that's going to lead them a different way? Or is that just a message? Anyway. Let me grab this. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Right? So we know that pretty much these devils are against each other. Right? And the power grip that Esau had is losing. Right? That's what the scriptures say. The end is manifest. You know? I'm gonna get Job 20, you know, these people are turning against him. So it says, an unwise king destroyeth his people. Is not Donald J. Trump, you know, doing these tariffs and causing the people to be destroyed? You know, people on TikTok, social media is crying, talking about I'm working 5 jobs and things, and then now I'm getting fired from 3 of them. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, a city shall be inhabited. Right. So we are the rightful rulers. You know, the hopeful elect. Right. We will be the you know, Lord willing, we will be the government body of the new kingdom. Right. Of, you know, the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua when he comes. So the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. See, these devils is not profitable. Right. This is a future prophecy right here. We know that Esau, Edom, is ruling. Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Right? So in due time, the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua will set one up that's profitable. And it ain't these devils. Esau, even so-called white men, it's not them. Right? It's us, the Israelites. Right? Lord Yahushua, King David, right? It says, and in the hand of Yahweh is the prosperity of man, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. So what? This is, basically there's no free will. The Lord's control everything. This, I believe the scribe is his prophets, right? It says, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor, right? And the Most High is definitely dealing with his prophets, all right? It says, bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices. So Esau Edom is that don't fit him at all, right? This devil is against everything that the Lord is, right? We just got to have a coup. He's not satisfied, to the point where he's just going to kill and kill and kill. It says, pride is hateful before Yahweh and man, and by both do one commit iniquity. See, so this devil is super prideful. Obadiah 1 says that. Let me grab that. Right? And he don't think he's going to be destroyed. This is Obadiah 1. And I'll grab Obadiah 1, starting from 1 in the NLT. It says, this is the vision that the sovereign Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, revealed to Obadiah concerning the land of Edom. We have heard a message from the Lord that an ambassador was sent to the nations to say, get ready, everyone. Make sure this thing is still going. Esau been, playing with it lately. It says, leave it like that. It's all good. It says, Obadiah 1:1 again. This is the vision that the sovereign Lord revealed to Obadiah concerning the land of Edom. We have heard a message from the Lord Yahweh that an ambassador was sent to the nations to say, get ready, everyone. Right? The prophets and the Lord are here. We're saying that. Great destruction, death, famine, pestilence. It's coming. The end is here. It says, let's assemble our armies and attack Edom. And what? Who's going to attack Edom? The Lord Yahushua when he returns, and the chariots, the angels, and also, Esau's enemies. Who was that? Iran, Russia, China. It says, the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua says to Edom, I will cut you down to size among the nations. You will be greatly despised. We're in that time. It says, you have been deceived by your own pride because you live in a rock fortress and make your home high in the mountains. Who can ever reach us way up here? You ask boastfully. Right? Esau Edom, basically, he's from the Caucasus Mountains. But even here in Babylon the Great, he builds these great skyscrapers, and he's just in a high position. He's over the earth. Right? And he thinks of himself, and he's saying in his heart, who shall bring me down? Because of his pride. So verse 7 in Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 7 says, pride is hateful before Yahweh and man, and by both do one commit iniquity. So Esau commits iniquity all the time. It says in verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So yeah, that's the point. So anyway, continuing on where he was at. I believe he was in Job. Oh no, yeah, I got that. Oh, matter of fact, yeah, I got it. The point was, who else would you set up? They fired this one lady, and she was over the people there in Greenland, the U.S. base chief they fired. So I guess they're gonna probably set up another person in the place. So anyway, let me click on this.
Vance accused Denmark of neglecting Greenland's security during his visit to the Danish Autonomous Territory. Vance said Denmark had not done a good job for Greenlanders and had not spent enough on security. Myers allegedly sent an email to staff on 31st March, which was released by a military news site, saying Vance's views did not reflect the stance of Patuxent Space Base.
It says U.S. fires Greenland military base chief. This was her. It says, I do not presume to understand current politics. Oh, let me take this real quick. Hello? Yep. All right. All right. Anyway, U.S. fires Greenland military base chief. Says, I do not presume to understand current politics, but what I do know is the concerns of the U.S. administration discussed by Vice President Vance are not reflective of a Pacific space base. So they're against each other. This military establishment of the United States does not agree with anything that Vance is saying. So obviously they don't agree with anything that Elon Musk is saying. So obviously they don't agree with anything Donald Trump is saying. Right? And this is Colonel Susanna Myers, right? And they fired her. We grabbed the Job 20. As a matter of fact, I wanted to grab this in NLT. This Job 18, NLT verse 5. It says, surely the light of the wicked shall be snuffed out. The sparks of their fire will not glow. The light in their tent will grow dark. The lamp hanging above them will be quenched. The confident stride of the wicked will be shortened. Their own schemes will be their downfall. The wicked walk into a net. They fall into a pit. A trap grabs them by the heel. A snare holds them tight. A noose lies hidden on the ground. A rope is stretched across their path. Terrors surround the wicked and trouble them at every step. Right? And that's why you got this dude, J.D. Vance, flying all across the world to try to go over there and tell Greenland, we need you, basically. Because he's going to see that China and Russia want that land, if he ain't said already. It says, hunger depletes their strength and calamity waits for them to stumble. Disease eats their skin, death devours their limbs. They are torn from the security of their homes and are brought down to the king of terrors. Right? King of terrors. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. It says the homes of the wicked will burn down. Burning sulfur rains on their houses. Those nuclear missiles that will come. Right? It says their roots will dry up and their branches will wither. All memory of their existence will fade from the earth. No one will remember their name. They will be thrust from light into darkness, driven from the world. They will have neither children nor grandchildren nor any survivor in the place where they lived. People in the West are appalled at their fate. People in the East are horrified. They will say this was the home of a wicked person, the place of one who rejected Yahweh. Right? And this lady here, she's a devil too, so-called Edomite. But at the end of the day, they're against each other, and that's perfect for us, right? Because we're under our oppressors right now, They brought us here through slavery, and now they're fighting amongst themselves while their kingdom is failing.
Chief Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell shared the military.com article while confirming Myers' dismissal. The Pentagon said it will not tolerate any actions that undermine leadership or defy U.S. President Donald Trump's agenda. Vance visited the base on 28 March in a trip amid increasingly strained relations between the U.S., Greenland, and Denmark. During his visit, Vance revived Trump's past proposal to annex Greenland for strategic defense purposes. Remember, both Greenland and Denmark have rejected the idea, presenting a united stance against U.S. annexation plans.
Our message to Denmark is very simple. You have not done a good job by the people of Greenland. You have underinvested in the people of Greenland, and you have underinvested in the security architecture of this incredible, beautiful landmass filled with incredible people. That has to change. And because it hasn't changed, this is why President Trump's policy in Greenland is what it is. And what we think is going to happen is that the Greenlanders are going to choose through self-determination to become independent of Denmark, and then we're going to have conversations with the people of Greenland from there. So I think that talking about anything too far in the future is way too premature. We do not think that military force is ever going to be necessary. We think this makes sense. And because we think the people of Greenland are rational and good, we think we're going to be able to cut a deal, Donald Trump style, to ensure the security of this territory, but also the United States of America. I'll do one more question. Well, the president said we have to have Greenland, and I think that we do have to be more serious about the security of Greenland. We can't just ignore this place. We can't just ignore the president's desires, but most importantly, we can't ignore what I said earlier, which is the Russian and Chinese encroachment in Greenland. We have to do more. Now, what the president said in his State of the
Right? So let's grab this, because hey, the end is manifest, and they're fearing what's to come. Right, they're in their destruction by the hands of Russia, China, Iran, and the rest of them joined together. All right, this is Second Esdras 9. Second Esdras 9 and 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that this very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, right, there's going to be some uproars in Greenland probably, because he's saying that the people are not with what the leaders are talking about. And that's what the stuff that he's putting in their mind. All right, it was good before Esau showed up. I gave you John 10 and 10. The thief coming out but to kill, steal, and destroy, right? It says, then, Second Esdras 9 and 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. See, that's it. The end is manifest. Esau then. This is Job 20 and 18. It says, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance, all the restitution be. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away in house which he builded not. Surely, and he trying to take Greenland. It says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, he shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him, right? And the wicked is, the word wicked goes to labor, just like the lady they just fired.
Union address, and he was very clear about this, is we respect the self-determination of the people of Greenland, but my argument again to them is I think that you'd be a lot better coming under the United States security umbrella than you have been under Denmark's security umbrella, because what Denmark's security umbrella has meant is effectively they've passed it all off to brave Americans and hope that we would pick up the tab. We're simply saying to the people of Greenland, when the president says we've got to have Greenland, he's saying this island is not safe. A lot of people are interested in it. A lot of people are making a play. We know that America cares about the security of this island for the sake of the people of Greenland, but also for the sake of the national security interests of the United States of America. So our message is very simple. Yes, the people of Greenland are going to have self-determination. We hope that they choose to partner with the United States because we're the only nation on earth that will respect their sovereignty and respect their security, because their security.
I just gave you Obadiah 1 and 7. Greenland will partner with Russia.
Is very much our security, as these brave Americans show. We respect, as the president said.
All right, so that's it. Lord willing, you edify from the lesson. I'll say shalom to those elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.